Somewhere inside every ordinary person is a force nobody can see. A quiet, invisible power that lets certain people walk through the exact same storms that flatten everyone else and come out the other side untouched. It isn't luck. It isn't talent. It isn't even discipline, not really. It's something older than all of those, a set of principles available to absolutely anyone willing to live by them. Today, we're uncovering 11 of these principles, drawn straight from the heart of Stoicism, that will help you build that same invisible strength. A core so solid that even your emotions can no longer shake it in the moments that matter most. If you're new here or you've been part of this community for a while already, stay until the very last word. One of these 11 principles might be the single missing piece that quietly rewrites the rest of your life. So, are you ready to find out which one it is? Before we go any further, if this is the kind of thing that speaks to you, go ahead and subscribe right now, because what's coming next will only make more sense with everything that follows it. Principle 1. Stop discussing your problems. We live in a culture that constantly pressures us to talk, to unload our struggles onto friends, family, or the endless scroll of social media, as if speaking a problem aloud were the same as solving it. But according to the teachings of towering Stoic minds like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, this instinct can quietly weaken us. When we talk about our problems, we are, often without even realizing it, fishing for pity or approval. The Stoic path asks for something far harder and far more powerful. Focus on action and guard your emotional balance like a locked gate. Picture a difficult moment at work, a stalled project, mounting frustration. Instead of venting to a coworker and hunting for comfort, the steady, grounded thinker pauses. He turns inward, reflecting on the problem itself rather than drowning it in unnecessary emotion. This single shift lets him protect his inner strength and stay locked onto the action required, not the noise surrounding it. Talking about your struggles makes you vulnerable to other people's opinions, and those opinions are rarely as constructive as we hope. Unsolicited advice and casual criticism can quietly drain your energy and your confidence. But when you choose not to speak of your difficulties, you retain something precious: control over your own story. Every time we hand our disappointments to someone else, we risk being handed back a version of them tangled in someone else's baggage. Solving your difficulties on your own strengthens your autonomy and deepens your self-trust. It is proof of character, proof that you can hold yourself steady without leaning on external validation. Bruce Lee once said that what matters most is not what happens to us, but how we respond to it, and that response is what truly defines our strength. Every challenge you overcome quietly, without an audience, sharpens you and teaches you to act with real efficiency. Staying silent about your problems is not weakness in disguise. It is wisdom wearing a plain coat. It keeps your focus locked on your goals instead of scattered across outside noise. And it reminds you that the very energy you might spend complaining could instead be spent finding your way out. Principle 2. Guard your secrets. In a world where social media and the hunger for recognition push us to broadcast every corner of our lives, Stoic wisdom quietly insists on the opposite. The moment we share our plans, our dreams, our deepest ambitions, we don't just expose them to outside criticism. We place unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus taught that restraint in speech is a shield. It protects our intentions from the weight of other people's expectations and judgments. Every time we describe an idea out loud, we crack open a door to doubt, to demotivation, even to quiet envy we never see coming. And there's a subtler trap hiding here too. Revealing our plans often gives us a fleeting rush of satisfaction, as if we'd already accomplished something, when in reality that rush distracts us from the actual work still waiting to be done. Imagine deciding to write a book or launch a business. The instant you announce it to friends or post it online, you become a target for a flood of comments, unsolicited advice, and judgment, all of which can quietly erode your confidence and, eventually, blur the clarity of your own vision. The Stoics understood restraint as a genuine weapon. Keep your plans locked away, and you give them room to grow undisturbed, free of distraction, fully anchored in action. As Seneca put it, don't talk about your dreams. Prove them with what you do. Results speak far louder and matter far more than outside recognition ever could. Announcing your intentions too early also builds expectations around you, expectations that only add pressure. Picture someone who proudly declares they're starting a healthier lifestyle, only to be met with a barrage of questions and criticism from everyone around them. Instead of focusing on the actual steps forward, they're stuck defending their choice to people who were never invested in the first place. Keeping your plans private protects you from that noise and keeps your focus exactly where it belongs, on your own next move. When you don't share your intentions, you keep the pen of your own story in your own hand. You shield your ideas from forces that could damage them, and you give them the conditions they need to bloom at their own pace. This quiet approach also builds an atmosphere of mystery and strength around you. People who act without announcing themselves earn a particular kind of respect. Their confidence and decisiveness speak louder than any amount of talk ever could. This isn't a call to isolate yourself. Trusted allies who genuinely support you still deserve a place in your circle. But your plans deserve to be shared only with those who respect your goals and would never quietly undermine your confidence. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, our happiness and our success depend on our actions, not on other people's opinions. So the next time a new goal takes shape inside you, think twice before speaking it aloud. Let your actions do the talking. Principle 3. Stop broadcasting your achievements. In a culture built to reward the loudest announcement of every small win, Stoic wisdom asks us to look somewhere else entirely, inward, not outward. Bragging creates a false sense of completion. It pulls your attention away from the work still in front of you, and it leaves you exposed to other people's judgment in ways you may not even notice at first. When we share our victories, we often invite envy and quiet disapproval in return. Reactions that can chip away at our confidence and pile on emotional weight we never asked to carry. The Stoics believed that the true value of any achievement lives in the personal growth behind it, not in the applause that follows. The moment we start acting purely for recognition, we lose touch with the real reasons we began in the first place. Someone who overcomes a genuinely difficult challenge might feel the pull to announce it, to collect approval. But if they turn instead toward the lessons buried inside that struggle, the achievement gains a depth no round of applause could ever match. The constant chase for recognition distracts us from the process of growth itself. It teaches us to measure our worth through other people's eyes, which quietly makes us dependent on their approval to feel whole. But when we keep our achievements to ourselves, we protect ourselves from that unnecessary pressure and allow ourselves to enjoy our results on a far more personal, far more honest level. Staying focused on the process, rather than the outcome, is what protects our inner peace. Silence around our wins also spares us from needless comparison. The moment we announce a success, we're inviting others to measure it against their own, which can breed envy in them and quietly plant insecurity in us too, as we start sizing ourselves up against everyone else's story. The Stoics believed our energy belongs to our own growth, not to proving ourselves to anyone. Keeping success quiet lets us focus on the next step instead of circling back to admire the last one. Real strength was never about parading your victories. It's about continuing to grow. Every success is simply a stepping stone, never the final destination. Consider someone who, after real achievement in their career, chooses not to broadcast it, and instead quietly keeps building the next thing. That choice protects their focus from the pull of outside opinion and keeps them anchored to long-term goals. This kind of silence also nurtures humility, one of the central virtues of Stoicism. It reminds us that our achievements are rarely ours alone. They lean on the support of others and on circumstances we didn't fully control. Recognizing that keeps us open to new experience and immune to vanity. Real joy, the Stoics insisted, comes from internal satisfaction, never from external praise. So the next time you accomplish something meaningful, consider simply keeping it for yourself. Let your work speak. Stay focused on growing rather than performing. If you've made it this far, here's something worth pausing on. This channel exists to keep unpacking ideas exactly like these, one principle at a time. And if you'd like the rest of this journey delivered straight to you, subscribing is the simplest way to make sure you never miss the next one. Now back to the list. Principle 4, the power of strategic silence. In a world where everyone rushes to speak first, to stake their claim, Stoic wisdom offers a different path entirely. Say less, listen more. This single shift gives us the space to make wiser, more deliberate decisions. Silence becomes a tool, one that lets us govern our emotions and shield ourselves from the impulsive reactions that so often make hard situations worse. Seneca and Epictetus both taught that silence gives us room to think before we respond, to act with far greater clarity. Picture yourself in a tense discussion at work. The instinct is to respond immediately, to defend your position, to counter every point on the spot. Strategic silence asks for something different. A pause, letting the emotional heat settle before you speak. This alone can prevent the kind of hasty words that escalate a conflict, and it buys you time to shape a response built on reason rather than reflex. Silence is not weakness. It is a quiet display of strength and self-command, and people who practice it are consistently seen as wiser, steadier, more composed. Listening carefully means catching not just the words someone says, but the emotion carried underneath them. The tone, the pauses, the things left unsaid. This deeper understanding lets you respond in a way that actually meets the moment. In conflict, silence becomes a bridge toward resolution rather than another weapon thrown into the fire. Every time we hold back an impulsive word, we protect our inner peace. Silence gives us back control of our emotions and helps us dodge the trap of reacting purely on instinct. When someone says something hurtful, you can choose not to answer instantly. That pause gives you time to ask yourself whether the comment even deserves your energy at all. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, our reaction to what happens to us is always, entirely, in our own hands. Silence also protects the privacy of your thoughts and intentions. Oversharing leaves you exposed to manipulation or criticism you never invited. Strategic silence builds an aura of quiet mystery around you, strengthening your position in negotiations and difficult moments alike. People who know how to stay quiet rarely hand others ammunition, and in turn, they earn deeper respect. This same silence matters in personal relationships too. When someone you love is expressing their emotions, the most powerful thing you can offer is simply to listen, not to interrupt, not to impose your own opinion on top of theirs. This builds trust and turns ordinary conversation into something far more meaningful. People treasure being truly heard more than they ever treasure being persuaded. In professional settings, the same principle applies. In an important meeting, resisting the urge to answer too quickly and instead choosing the right moment to speak reveals analytical thinking and builds a reputation for being genuinely reliable. Practicing silence teaches patience in a world addicted to instant answers. Each pause is a chance to weigh the situation, to consider the arguments, to choose deliberately rather than react on impulse. Silence isn't the absence of words. It's the presence of thought. It lets us step back from the noise of the outside world and focus on what genuinely matters. The more we practice conscious silence, the better we manage our own reactions. A quality that helps us hold on to our dignity even in moments when everyone else around us is losing theirs. Principle 5. Stop talking about other people. The Stoics understood that fixating on other people's mistakes, flaws, or choices quietly drains energy that belongs to our own growth. Criticizing or discussing someone else's business might feel harmless in the moment, but it corrodes our inner peace and creates tension we never needed to carry. Marcus Aurelius wrote that true dignity is found in focusing on our own actions, not in judging anyone else's. Every time we talk about someone behind their back, we unknowingly let negativity into our own lives. Envy, resentment, or irritation born purely from comparison. This kind of habit pulls our attention away from what actually matters. Instead of dissecting someone else's behavior, the far more useful question is simply, what can I do to become better? Real growth begins the moment we turn our attention inward rather than outward. Talking about others also breeds unnecessary conflict. Words spoken behind someone's back have a way of finding their way back to them, straining relationships that never needed to be strained. And every time we criticize someone else, we quietly lower other people's trust in us. People consistently value those who speak plainly and directly, not those who trade in gossip or rumor. Our character, the Stoics insisted, is shaped far more by how we speak about ourselves and our own values than by anything we say about someone else. Choosing silence about other people's business protects our inner calm. When we stop spending energy dissecting what others do or fail to do, we open up space for our own reflection, sharpening our understanding of our own goals and values. Instead of discussing a coworker's mistake, it's far more valuable to ask how you might sharpen your own skills. This habit strengthens not just your character, but the entire atmosphere around you. Gossip and comparison tend to breed either quiet envy or a false sense of superiority, and the Stoics taught that neither one serves our growth. What matters is staying focused on our own actions and refusing to measure ourselves through the lens of someone else's wins or losses. Choosing not to speak about others is a quiet act of maturity and emotional intelligence, and people who avoid gossip and judgment consistently earn deeper respect. In a workplace, replacing criticism of a colleague's error with a constructive idea for improvement doesn't just preserve morale. It strengthens trust across the entire team. Every time we choose to speak about ourselves rather than others, we grow stronger and less vulnerable to outside noise. Freeing ourselves from conversations about other people protects our energy and redirects it toward our own goals. Instead of dwelling on someone's mistake, ask what lesson it might hold for your own life. This habit builds an atmosphere of trust and respect around you. People feel safe near someone who doesn't judge or gossip behind their back, and that safety deepens every relationship it touches. True strength of character, the Stoics taught, shows itself in respecting others even when we disagree with their choices. Principle 6. Do good quietly without applause. The Stoics held that genuine virtue reveals itself precisely when a person does good without expecting any reward at all. Often, we're tempted to display our kindness in order to earn admiration or approval, but this instinct quietly betrays the very ideal it claims to serve. The moment virtue becomes a form of self-promotion, its true meaning slips away entirely. Seneca taught that good should be done quietly, without noise, without expectation. When kindness is performed for recognition, altruism quietly turns into a transaction. We begin measuring our good deeds by how they look to others rather than by the real difference they make. The Stoics insisted that virtue is never a means to an end. It is the end itself. Someone who helps only to be seen helping loses the sincerity behind the act entirely. Doing good in silence frees us from needing anyone else's approval. Hiding our kindness protects it from distortion and lets us stay focused on the substance of the act rather than its performance. If you help a friend through a hard moment, let it be because you genuinely want to help, not because you're already imagining how you'll describe it later. This mindset makes your actions real and deeply meaningful, especially in a culture that constantly nudges us to broadcast every kind gesture as proof of our own worth. But the Stoics insisted that real value lives in quiet good, not performed good. Picture someone who donates anonymously to a cause they care about, not for praise but simply to help. That act strengthens something inside them and delivers a satisfaction words could never capture. Seneca wrote that true good needs no witness. Its power lives entirely inside the action itself. When we perform kindness for attention, we quietly corrode its sincerity. Over time, our motivation becomes dependent on whether anyone's watching, and we risk losing the inner drive to help at all. Hidden good deeds strengthen our character in ways visible ones simply cannot. When we do them for their own sake, we release ourselves from the constant hunt for approval and turn instead toward what genuinely matters. This builds inner resilience and self-sufficiency. Public displays of goodness can also breed comparison. People begin measuring generosity like a competition, and in that race, the meaning of the act itself quietly disappears. To avoid that trap, the Stoics recommended keeping good deeds private. Acts done in secret often carry more weight than the ones performed for an audience. Think of someone who helps a stranger on the street and never mentions it to a soul. That single choice reflects their true values, proof that they act from an inner need to help, not from a hunger for attention. This is, the Stoics insisted, what real virtue actually looks like. In today's world, that kind of quiet practice can feel difficult, but its value is immeasurable. It strips away the quiet ego that so often rides along with public generosity, and it lets us value the act itself rather than how it looks to others. As Marcus Aurelius put it, virtue lives in action, not in words, and good done without expectation gives us back more than we could ever have imagined. A stronger spirit, deeper resilience, and real satisfaction with life itself. Principle 7. Guard your dreams and plans until they're real. When we share our ambitions with the people around us, we open the door to opinions, criticism, and expectations that can quietly distort how we see our own goals. Seneca's advice still rings true. Let your actions speak for you, not your words. Instead of talking about what you intend to do, focus entirely on doing it. Discussing your plans too early can quietly weaken your motivation. The simple act of describing a goal out loud can create a false sense of accomplishment. People praise us for merely announcing an intention, and that praise gives us a small hit of satisfaction that can replace our actual drive to achieve the real result. Keeping your intentions private protects them from outside interference. The fewer people who know your plans, the fewer people who can interrupt or impose their opinions on them. If you're starting a new project, focus on the work itself rather than announcing it to everyone around you. This keeps your thinking clear and shields you from unnecessary pressure. Revealing your dreams also makes you vulnerable to other people's expectations. Once others know your plans, they start watching your progress, and you begin to feel obligated to meet expectations that were never truly yours, pulling your attention away from your actual goal. Keeping your dreams quiet also creates space for creativity and freedom. Working on your goals in silence gives you room to experiment, to try new approaches, and to adjust course without an audience second-guessing every step. Outside criticism can quietly limit that freedom, making you doubt ideas that deserved more patience. In silence, you keep full ownership of your own process. Secrecy and intention also spares you from needless competition. The moment people know your plans, they may start comparing themselves to you or even quietly competing against you, pulling focus away from your actual work. The Stoics insisted our energy belongs turned inward, not scattered across outside conflict. Working toward your own goals rather than for recognition also deepens your satisfaction with the process itself. A writer who tells no one about their book until it's finished experiences a far deeper joy in the act of creation than in waiting for applause. That inner satisfaction builds resilience and confidence in equal measure. Well-meaning advice, even when offered with good intentions, can quietly pull you off your own path. Adapting to other people's idea of what's right weakens your ability to act according to your own values. Consider a new entrepreneur who shares a business idea too widely. They risk a wave of unsolicited opinions that leave them second-guessing everything. But by keeping the idea private, they can focus entirely on developing the product and the strategy, staying true to their own vision. Secrecy in intention builds a quiet aura around you. People begin to respect those who act without announcement, who achieve results without needing an audience. This kind of respect is built on results, not promises, and it strengthens your reputation as someone defined by action rather than talk. Keeping plans private also protects you from unnecessary disappointment. Sharing a dream you don't reach can feel like public failure, while holding it privately gives you room to stumble, adjust, and keep moving without the weight of outside eyes. None of this means isolation. You can still trust your plans to people who genuinely support you and offer constructive guidance. The Stoics emphasize surrounding yourself with people who help rather than hinder your path. Secrecy also protects your focus, letting you pour your full energy into action rather than explanation, especially crucial when working on complex, long-term projects. In a world constantly pushing us to share every step, keeping your dreams private becomes its own quiet act of resistance, letting you focus on what truly matters instead of how it looks from the outside. This builds independence and sharpens your ability to make decisions rooted in your own inner voice rather than in outside approval. Think of an athlete who trains in silence, never announcing their progress until competition day, allowing their success to be earned rather than shaped by outside pressure. Principle 8. The art of solitude. Modern life often paints solitude as something negative, but for the Stoics, it was a wellspring of strength and self-knowledge. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that time spent alone allows a person to truly hear themselves and reconnect with their real values. In the rush of daily life, we often lose contact with our own thoughts, letting the outside world quietly shape our perception without our even noticing. Solitude becomes the space where balance is restored. In quiet and stillness, clarity of thought returns, and we're finally able to ask the questions that matter most. What genuinely matters to me, and am I actually living in line with my own principles? Being truly alone with yourself takes real courage. In those moments, you come face to face with the honest truth of your own thoughts and emotions. But it's precisely in that confrontation that real growth becomes possible. The Stoics believed solitude strengthens the spirit, freeing us from dependence on other people's opinions. Picture someone taking a solitary walk to think through an important decision. That time alone helps them find answers that would have been drowned out entirely by the noise of public opinion. Like a gardener tending quietly to their own garden, a person who seeks solitude is simply tending to their inner world. Solitude is not an escape from society. It's a way of returning to yourself with renewed strength and clarity. Solitude also helps combat the overload of everyday life. We're constantly buried under interactions, information, and obligations, and stepping away becomes a way to disconnect from that noise and recharge. Even 10 quiet minutes can have a powerful effect on both mind and body. Enough time to settle, to reflect, and to weigh the meaning and consequences of our own actions. Solitude has long been a wellspring of creativity too. Countless philosophers and artists found their deepest inspiration in moments of true stillness. Einstein himself once said that silence and solitude are essential for developing new ideas. When the mind is free from the pressure of outside opinion, it gains room to explore entirely new horizons. Solitude becomes fertile ground for genuine creativity. Solitude also builds resilience to stress. Left alone with themselves, a person learns to sit with their emotions, examine them honestly, and find real ways to move through them. An inner strength that makes facing hardship far more manageable. Marcus Aurelius insisted that nothing external should be allowed to disturb our peace, and solitude is one of the clearest paths toward that steadiness. The Stoics also believed solitude sharpens decision-making. Constantly surrounded by other people, our thoughts often become reactive, shaped by whoever is closest. Solitude gives us room to develop our own ideas and make decisions rooted in our own values and goals, strengthening our confidence in our own judgment. Consider a leader who carves out quiet time to reflect before an important decision. That space allows them to weigh consequences and choose the wiser path, something the rush of daily routine rarely allows. None of this is a call to withdraw from society. The Stoics never asked us to abandon connection, only to find balance between engagement and solitude. Time spent alone makes us more effective and more genuinely present in our relationships with others, allowing us to return to people with renewed energy and clarity. Embracing solitude as part of life opens a new level of self-awareness, one that makes it easier to be honest with ourselves, acknowledge our weaknesses, and work through them with intention. In a world addicted to constant busyness, the art of solitude becomes an essential skill. Not weakness, but the ability to be still and turn inward. The Stoics believed solitude lets us finally see the world clearly and understand exactly where we stand within it. Principle 9, the power of silent listening. In a culture obsessed with the right to be heard, the ability to truly listen has become rare and precious. The Stoics believe that staying silent while someone else speaks helps us understand them more deeply, while protecting our own inner calm at the same time. Seneca often pointed out that wisdom shows itself less in what we say and more in how we listen. When we let someone fully express their thoughts without interruption, we honor their perspective, and in doing so, we build trust and strengthen the bond between us. Silent listening lets us catch far more than words. The emotion underneath them, the tone, the pauses, the things left unsaid, all of which reveal what a person is truly trying to communicate. This kind of listening makes communication richer and far more meaningful. Active listening also helps prevent unnecessary conflict. The instinct to respond immediately in an argument almost always escalates tension. A pause and genuine attention lets us see the real root of the problem and respond with far more wisdom. It mirrors the Stoic practice of pausing to reflect before acting, lowering the odds of misunderstanding and preserving our inner peace. Picture a coworker sharing a problem at work. If we immediately jump in with advice or defend our own opinion, it can feel like we haven't truly understood them at all. But listening attentively, without interrupting, shows respect and often helps them find their own solution. This deepens the relationship and builds an atmosphere of mutual respect. Silent listening also helps us regulate our own emotions. Giving ourselves time to process our thoughts before reacting lets us choose words aligned with our values, rather than firing off an impulsive response. Marcus Aurelius wrote that wisdom lies in responding consciously rather than surrendering to emotion. Listening also deepens empathy. When we take the time to truly understand someone's feelings and experience, We build deeper relationships and cultivate compassion, a quality the Stoics considered essential. Instead of judging or criticizing, we begin to see the world through someone else's eyes. Silence in conversation can be a powerful trust-building tool. People deeply value being genuinely heard and understood, especially in moments when they're sharing something personal or difficult. Silent listening lets them feel truly seen, itself a quiet, powerful act of support. In everyday life, the ability to listen without interrupting improves nearly every relationship, personal and professional alike. Within a family, it can prevent unnecessary arguments. In the workplace, it builds an atmosphere of respect and genuine collaboration. It's a simple but remarkably effective way to elevate the quality of any conversation. Listening attentively also teaches us patience. We stop rushing to conclusions and start truly absorbing what's being said, which leads to better, more grounded decisions. Instead of reacting automatically, we begin asking ourselves what this person is actually trying to say. Silent listening also protects our own peace. When we're focused on hearing someone else, we're freed from the need to prove ourselves right or defend our position, and that release brings a real sense of freedom, keeping us anchored in the present moment. This practice strengthens self-control and makes us steadier overall. Listening is not passive. It's an active, deliberate process that demands attention and awareness, a skill that deepens our understanding of others and, in turn, deepens our understanding of ourselves. The Stoics believed that through understanding others, we come to understand ourselves. This makes silent listening an inseparable part of genuine personal growth. Principle 10. Long-term vision. In a world engineered to reward instant gratification, the Stoics insisted that real value is built over time, never in fleeting, momentary results. Marcus Aurelius put it plainly, "Don't chase instant results, chase steady, lasting progress." When we anchor ourselves to the long view, our decisions become sharper and more deliberate. We stop pouring energy into things that offer only temporary satisfaction and start investing instead in what will genuinely serve us down the road. This principle stretches across every part of life, from finances to health. A Stoic, for instance, would set money aside for future stability rather than spend it on fleeting pleasures. Long-term vision also helps us weather disappointment. Once we understand that today's difficulty is simply one step on the path toward a larger goal, obstacles become far easier to carry. This mindset strengthens our resilience and keeps our motivation intact. Epictetus taught that what matters most is keeping sight of the destination, not fixating on every temporary setback along the way. A crucial part of long-term vision is the willingness to give up an immediate reward in service of something far more meaningful. Someone dreaming of career growth might choose study and skill building over easy entertainment. Not always the easier choice, but almost always the more valuable one in the long run. Patience is the key to success in nearly any undertaking. Think of a gardener planting a tree. He knows it won't grow overnight, and he commits to tending it anyway, trusting that years from now, its fruit will reward every bit of that patience. Long-term thinking also helps us avoid impulsive decisions. When we weigh our choices against their future consequences, we make wiser, more grounded decisions and reduce the risk of costly mistakes. Seneca observed that patience and consistency are the defining virtues of anyone who hopes to succeed. Focusing on the future also helps us handle failure with more grace. Instead of getting stuck replaying our mistakes, we learn to treat them as lessons that sharpen us for what's ahead. The Stoics viewed hardship as part of the path itself, something that tempers character rather than something to be feared. Long-term vision builds discipline. It teaches us to stay locked onto what truly matters, even when it demands sustained effort, rather than getting pulled into distraction by whatever feels urgent in the moment. This principle also sharpens how we plan our lives. Once we know what we're working toward, it becomes far easier to identify the exact steps required to get there. Planning becomes the bridge that turns a dream into something real and achievable, and a clear plan brings a real sense of calm along with it. Consider someone learning a new language, fully aware it will take months, maybe years. Every day they take one more small step, regular practice, steady reading, and that consistency slowly turns into fluency, into genuine knowledge that brings both joy and real, tangible benefit. Long-term vision doesn't just help us reach our goals. It teaches us to enjoy the process along the way. We learn to find satisfaction in small daily progress, a quiet but constant source of motivation. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, what matters isn't only reaching our goals, but finding real joy inside the reaching. This kind of vision also builds resilience to stress. We stop overreacting to minor setbacks and stay focused instead on what truly matters, becoming far less vulnerable to the sway of outside circumstance. Long-term vision teaches patience, the understanding that anything worthwhile takes time. We stop chasing instant results and start valuing the process itself, a shift that makes us steadier and far more focused. This same principle strengthens our relationships too. When we're anchored in the long view, we choose understanding and compromise over selfish, short-term reactions, even in conflict with the people closest to us. Long-term vision is tied directly to taking responsibility for our own lives. We come to understand that today's choices are quietly shaping our future, a realization that makes our decisions more conscious and deliberate, and stops us from blaming circumstance for our setbacks. It also sharpens our awareness of the resources we already hold. We stop wasting our time and energy on things that don't matter, and start investing them instead in what genuinely does, making our lives feel far more meaningful. Long-term vision builds persistence. We learn to push through hardship knowing it's temporary, which makes us stronger and steadier, and lets us see every challenge as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. This same principle helps us understand our own priorities more clearly. We begin asking ourselves what genuinely matters to us, a question that lets us focus on what's essential and let go of everything else, making our lives feel more coherent and whole. Long-term vision also teaches gratitude. We begin to appreciate what we already have while still working steadily toward what we hope to build, a balance that brings real satisfaction and frees us from dependence on outside validation. In the end, long-term vision helps us build a life rooted in our own values and goals, one where we take full ownership of our decisions, and where our lives grow steadily richer and more meaningful with every step forward. Long-term vision isn't just a strategy. It's an entire way of seeing, one that lets us look further ahead and build something lasting. Real growth, real harmony, real success. Principle 11. Wisdom in action. Wise action asks us to make deliberate decisions guided by reason, not emotion. In a world where impulsive reactions have become the norm, the Stoic discipline helps us hold on to calm and clarity even under real pressure. Wise action always begins with a pause, a moment that gives us room to actually assess the situation in front of us. As Marcus Aurelius put it, act only after you have weighed the consequences. When we pause before deciding, we give ourselves a real chance to sidestep mistakes born from emotional impulse. Rather than reacting on instinct, we weigh our actions against their real usefulness and their long-term impact, something especially critical in tense or conflict-heavy moments, when emotion can easily eclipse good judgment. Wisdom in action lets us see the bigger picture and make choices aligned with our actual values. Picture a conflict at work where anger or frustration might provoke a sharp, regrettable response. Rather than giving in to that emotion, the Stoic pauses, considers their words carefully, and chooses a strategic response instead. This single choice protects both the relationship and their own reputation. Epictetus taught it plainly. We cannot control our circumstances, but we can always control our response to them. Wisdom in action helps us sidestep needless arguments. When we refuse to let emotion seize control, we hold on to our inner balance, becoming far more resistant to outside provocation. Instead of getting pulled into unnecessary conflict, we choose actions that reinforce our own inner peace. This principle also shapes the bigger decisions of life, choosing between instant pleasure and long-term benefit. A wise person consistently leans toward the future, investing in education, breaking an unhealthy habit, sharpening a skill. Each of these choices quietly strengthens who we are becoming. Wise action begins with pausing to assess a situation clearly, helping us maintain clarity of thought. When we refuse to be swept up by emotion, we see a situation exactly as it is, which lets us make sharper, more effective decisions and stops us from tangling ourselves in our own reactions. Wisdom in action also teaches us to take real responsibility for our own lives. Understanding that our decisions shape our future keeps us conscious and deliberate, and stops us from quietly shifting blame onto circumstance. This same principle deepens our understanding of other people. We begin to see their motivations and emotions more clearly, which builds empathy and strengthens our relationships while helping us sidestep needless conflict. Ultimately, wisdom in action helps us live in true alignment with our own values and goals. We become more conscious of our own decisions, and our lives grow steadily more harmonious and meaningful because of it. Stoicism offers a genuinely powerful set of principles, tools that help us build real inner strength, hold on to clarity of mind, and stay present in absolutely any circumstance life throws our way. These 11 strategies act like a guiding star, pointing us toward a life filled with meaning, harmony, and lasting stability. By living these principles, we learn to make conscious decisions, to resist being ruled by our emotions, and to meet life's challenges with real effectiveness. Each approach opens a deeper understanding of ourselves and our own capacity, teaching us to respond wisely to difficulty, to stay calm, and to pour our focus into the one thing we've always fully controlled: our own actions. Try applying even just one of these 11 principles today, and you will feel it start to reshape the way you move through your own life. Every single step becomes one more step toward a more meaningful existence, toward real, lasting inner freedom. Which one of these 11 principles do you feel most called to put into practice? Tell me in the comments. Your experience might become exactly the spark someone else in this community needs today. And if this found you at the right moment, consider subscribing, leaving a like, and joining the conversation below. It genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you content built around wisdom, self-growth, and inner harmony. Let's build that community together, one principle at a time. Until the next video.